Welcome to another weekly vlog. This week we are starting off on the bike straight away. It is the last Sunday of the month, which means it is our long bandy group ride. This time we're going up the Alp, same as we did a couple of months ago. Can't remember the exact time, but I know the full ride, ride on time that we did was 1 hour 45 before. Hopefully it's a similar time this time, so I'm looking forward to that. And that for this week, Monday to Sunday, will put me at probably about 130 kilometres. And the aim for this week coming is probably to hit the 100 kilometres again. I need to keep the kilometres up. So we've got Jill's ride on Tuesday night. That's 6:30, but that also clashes with the England game on Tuesday night. So I might make a last minute decision depending on how that game is going about joining that ride. And then we've got our race on Thursday night and the group ride on Saturday morning. So hopefully a good number of kilometres. I'll try and get on where I can throughout the week as well, which will be good. And the big news that I read today is that we can now, as of tomorrow, ride the Makuri Island on meetups. So as long as that is working when I set up this week's rides, the race on Thursday and the ride on Saturday will both be on the new world, which I'm looking forward to. I'm really pleased. I've read some of the report on it. It looks like they've brought that forward because it wasn't supposed to be towards the end of the year until we were able to. So I'm really chuffed because I'm really enjoying that. I've got a couple more routes to tick off on there as well, so I might pick one of those as the group ride. But I'm not sure what we'll go for the race. There's a couple of options I think there, so yeah, I'm looking forward to looking at those in more detail and picking which one we do. But it's time to go and get ready and jump on the bike for the long ride up the Alp. I am starting this week. I'm feeling better than I was before, so yeah, hopefully this will be quite a strong one, so let's see. Really enjoyed that ride up the Alp. Slightly slower than the last time we did it as a bandit group ride, but it's not about the time. It's just about getting to the top and having a chat on the way. Lots of chat on Discord, and I managed to pretty much talk all the way up. There was a couple of moments I thought, I need to just back it off a bit, but it was a nice, just slow blue ride up to the top for me. So really enjoyed it. I don't think there was anybody doing it for the first time. If there was and you didn't mention it, then awesome job for doing that for the first time. And we'll circle back to that route every now and again, and I think we'll probably plan to do an unbanded one at some point too. I just don't know when yet. Tonight is Jill's second banded group ride. Unfortunately, I can't make tonight's ride for two reasons. Number one, England are playing Germany in the next round of the Euros. I was going to jump on potentially if the game was over towards the time the group ride started. I would have jumped on and joined it. But secondly, I was outside in the garden last night and I stepped on something that felt like a stone in between my heel and my slipper. And it wasn't a couple of minutes, it was still hurting. I looked down and I'd got a nail through the bottom of my slipper and it had gone into my heel. I'm not quite sure how deep it went. I'm sure if it had gone too deep, I'd know about it. So that led to those it was a really rusty nail as well. So it just sort of led to the question about, do I need to phone and get checked or whatever? So I phoned 111, finally heard back from them. I think it was about 2 o'clock this morning. Called my GP today, and I've got to go in for a tetanus shot, which is 6:45 this evening. So right when when maybe I jump on the ride, exactly that time I've got to go in and get my tetanus shot. So unfortunately, yeah, two things stopping me riding tonight. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do in the Euros game. I've watched slightly more in the knockout stages. There have been some cracking games, especially last night. 2 3-all draws in normal time. And both of them, I turned them off to go and do something different. I don't know, about 20 minutes left to go, and then was surprised when I looked at the score that they'd gone to extra time. So I'm a bit gutted I turned them off because they were good. I switched them back on to watch some of the extra time on both games. But yeah, fingers crossed for England tonight. I genuinely don't know how we're going to do, but I'm going to be watching it and we'll see up until the point I have to go out anyway. So yeah, that's my evening tonight. No riding. And it's slightly intentionally then I'm going to sort of back it off a little bit. I probably won't ride tomorrow because we've got the race on Thursday. Just trying to recover a little bit, give myself some rest days. As I said, I probably would have jumped on today if I could. And then I didn't want to ride Monday after doing the Alp climb. And I don't want to ride the day before the race. So I think my next ride is going to be race day. So yeah, I should be really refreshed and there shouldn't be any excuses, should there? So let's see how we go. But yeah, I'm going to crack on with the day, watch the football, and I'll catch up with you later. Come on! I missed both goals. First goal, I went to get changed into some trousers so I could go to the doctor's. Not that I wasn't wearing trousers, I was just wearing, you know, house trousers. And then, yeah, second one went in when I was on the way in the car. So, yeah, finally, we've beaten a big tide at a tournament for the first time in, I don't know, 20 years? I don't know what it is, something crazy. But we're through to the next round. Awesome. I have been jabbed. In fact, I've still got the cotton wool on, actually. Yeah, it didn't hurt a lot. It's a bit achy now. But, yeah, hopefully that will stop anything serious from happening after stepping on that rusty nail. Tonight, so I'm going to sit and watch. I need to catch up with today's Tour de France stage and also see who England are going to play in the next round. And I've got a bit of work to do, so I'm probably going to have a bit of a dual screen situation going on when I'm watching both the football and the cycling and doing some work at the same time. That's what I'm going to do tonight. And I guess I'll probably see you on Thursday. It's Thursday, so it's race day, and the first race we've done around the Makuri Islands. The bandit group run on Tuesday that Jill did was also around there, which I think was a success. So this is my first T2.5 meetup of any kind on the island, and I do like it. Only difference is this week, I think we're going slightly longer than normal, 23 kilometres I think it is. 2 laps of the 3 village loop. So yeah, let's see how that works. Probably going to be slightly down in numbers as well tonight. So there's a longer course, less riders to draft. So it's going to be an interesting one. I've got a bit of a headache. Came on in the last hour, so I have taken some painkillers. I've been drinking quite a bit of water this afternoon because I don't want to repeat of last week how crap I felt, basically. Fingers crossed I'm feeling strong. I haven't been on the bike this week. Semi-intentionally, just to give myself a rest. It makes the 100 kilometres this week slightly harder to achieve, and to be honest, maybe I won't. But tonight, yeah, race mode on. Going to go and get changed, get loaded onto Zwift, get the camera set up, and I'll see you on the start line. So about 20 seconds before we go, going to say my head hasn't eased off at all. I might have the cold that my wife came down with yesterday. Fingers crossed it doesn't affect me too much in this, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And this time I'm going to try and stay up with the guys at front if I can. Right, so we're just over 3 minutes in. Nice little group of D's formed here. Jay Williams, A. Evans, me, Hi Davies, E. Karan, Ian 2118, 12 seconds back, and then a big group of C's. Now less than 50 seconds behind. We're only 3.5 minutes in. I think that's probably the biggest group of C's we've had. And it looks like they're all working together as well. So no doubt they'll fly past soon. Here come the C's flying past then. S. Callan. I've lost the back of the D's on that little incline up. Wondering if I can use the C's to catch up.
There goes I Evans, B Cat. So I did try and use the C's to catch up with the D's. And it was a success until we got to this little hill. And now I'm well off the back as M Hyde goes past. So Jay Bushell, N Corbin, and Ian 2118 catching behind. Blasted hills. Okay, so our Gutsman, was it Gutman? Let me know. No doubt I'm getting it wrong. He's gone past, staying with him for a minute. He's pushing now, up to 6 watts per kilogram. So he'll disappear up the road. I think that's all of the higher category riders ahead of me now. Hoping for a bit of downhill relief, where I might be able to put a few seconds back on some of the guys in front. It's pretty much been a slightly uphill slog since we started, to be honest. Still 18 kilometres to go, so I don't want to go too crazy. Okay, so nearly 17 minutes in. I'm well behind the next group. We're a minute behind M Hyde, I Davies, A Evans. We're in here with myself, Ian, and our Gutsman. I'm going to go for Gutsman. Hopefully that's right. If not, do let me know. And yeah, M Barber, 1 minute 12 back. Having a little bit of respite down some small hills. It's not going to be enough to catch those in a draft further ahead, but at least it can keep the legs eased off slightly, and I'll jump ahead in the race in a minute. I just want to make sure I stay with these guys for a little while, get the benefit of the draft as well. Come on. Right, let's jump forward then. So we got Jay Bushell out in the lead with Seymour 30 seconds back. With a great group here. S Greaves and C Cannon. C Cat riders all sticking together there. Back to M Pierce, 20 seconds back, who's also in a group with C Ritchie, E Karan, and then another group of 3 just further back, M Hyde, I Davis, and A Evans. Then my group of 3, R Gutman, Ian, and myself. And then M Barber, 1 minute back. It's all about the 3s. So, got a little bit more of a downhill by the looks of it. Probably towards where the finish line is going to be before we climb back up and do it all again. 10 kilometres gone, 13 to go, and 20 minutes gone. Come on. Okay, so I've been trying to keep up with those guys in front. Unfortunately, I can't do any more. And we've got the hill coming up anyway. so they're bound to disappear off ahead. So I've lost the back of those guys. But M Barber is only 19 seconds behind now. Come on, let's get up here. And then the worst of it is done. Once we get up these hills. Let's do it. Come on. There goes M Barber. Well done, dude. I love coming down these winding things. I don't quite enjoy going up them as much. I got 8 kilometres left to go. I gave what I could up that hill. I can't see anyone else on the course. Oh, this is good. Where am I going? Oh no. Oh. That's not good. Ah. Well, that's rubbish. I don't know whether it'll kick back in. I'll keep going for a minute. So my distance is still going up, but not my distance to the goal. And I can't get to see anybody else in the race because there are no Zwifters nearby. Oh, how rubbish. So even clicking on them in the companion app doesn't help. So looks like John's well out in the lead, followed by Evans and N Corbin, and possibly one more person, judging by the dots. S Cannon behind, then comes Seymour, just coming through one of the villages, J Williams, then we've got M Hyde and M Pierce together, just coming into that village. Ikaran coming through the other little sort of C village. A Evans, M Barber, I Davies, Ian, and then he's put a bit of distance between him and R Gutman. So I can't even see. Oh, I'm going through the grass. Well, this was a success, wasn't it? I'll have to have a check on the forums to see if it's a meet-up issue with Makuri Islands. But, yeah, that is rubbish. I guess I'll have to do a roundup afterwards. I don't even know, is my kilometre still going up? Or is that giving up the ghost as well now?
So unfortunately, another week's race interrupted by some sort of issue or problem. So we've had Zwift computer crashes a couple of weeks ago. Last week was just me feeling off mentally and physically. And then tonight, Zwift sending me off into the path, into the sky. What a shame. I felt as if I was doing okay, and I felt quite strong from the start. And then we hit that hill and everybody sort of disappeared off as what normally happens in those races. But I looked at the 20-minute power afterwards, and it's well down on my best. In fact, all of the stats were well down. So my 20 minutes was 230 watts, and my best is 257. And clearly, I'm a little bit not at the races at the moment in terms of performance. I seem to have hit a bit of a plateau in improvements and stuff. So yeah, something I've got to work at. I don't quite know how, But I pushed as hard as I could tonight, and some of the efforts up the, especially the second one going up the hill again, I really decided to give that a good go. So who knows? But in the end, I didn't get to finish the race anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I was going to stay on for 20 kilometres, but I got to 18 and basically just got bored. I just drew heading straight. So yeah, I'll probably jump on the bike tomorrow now to get a little bit of my mileage up for this week, because whilst I missed, I don't know, what was it, about 7k cut off at the end, I feel that I'd probably, have a bit of something left in my legs now. But let's have a look at the race results. I can only do it on the companion app because that's the only place they are. And I can't see people's categories on here because the names aren't big enough in the columns. But John Bushell wins it with 38 minutes 41. 1 minute 17 behind Neil Corbin. I Evans 40 minutes and 11 in third. What's the 8 seconds ahead of S Greaves in fourth. Then S Cannon in fifth. Seymour in sixth. Jay Williams in seventh with 42.15. Was that about 30 seconds behind? And then C Finlayson and M Hyde both finishing on identical times of 42.31. C Finlayson getting the result in the app in 8th. M Hyde in 8th as well. So in the app it says joint 8th. 10th, M Pierce 42.39. So only 8 seconds behind those two in front. C Ritchie not that far behind that. Another 9 seconds back in 11th. E Karan 43.35, and I believe you've put into Facebook afterwards that you did you forgot to change your weight back from last week. So top going doing that at a heavier weight. N Barber in 13th, who came past me on the second lap, 43.47. A Evans in 14th. I Davies 15th. Ian 2118 in 44.59. So that's pretty much the same time as I Davies. So that's good going. And then R Gutman, I'm really sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. Please do tell me. 46.27. So Ian managed to pull away towards the end there, and then myself at the back with no finish time at all. So yeah, another race week done. As I said, didn't feel strong, so a little bit disappointed by that, but I'll get on the bike a couple of times extra this week just to get the mileage up. And then I thought having a few days off would probably give me a little bit more oomph in my legs, bit of a rest time. I didn't feel weak, I felt quite strong, but it just didn't translate into my power numbers tonight. And as I said, my headache went away. So aside from that, I was feeling okay. So I might jump on tomorrow, but we've got a group ride on Sunday, so I will catch you then. It's Friday, just finished work, and there were a couple of things that came into mind when I was finishing editing the race yesterday, even though I didn't finish the race. Firstly, how wonky is that shelving unit? I didn't notice until I changed the camera angle from where I usually have it to see that it had such a big lean. That's something I think I'm going to have to deal with, otherwise it's going to probably take out my television and all the units I have below here. So yeah, got to think of a plan for that, I think. I'm also really excited to announce that we have another T2.5 ride going into the diary. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that Jill would be running a bandit group ride every other Tuesday. Well, I'm really pleased to say that Andy Creer is going to jump in and do a ride every other Tuesday on the off Tuesdays. It'll be slightly different. It'll be an unbanded group ride targeted at a 1.5 watts per kilogram sort of recovery ride, post-weekend cool-down type ride, which I think will be awesome. It's a slightly different ride to add to our collection of ones that we do across the week. And I'm really looking forward to that one. That one will be on this Tuesday, will be the first one. And as usual, you need to be following Andy Creer on Zwift for him to be able to invite you. And the invites will be in the usual places. They'll go out on Spond, and they will be on the Google Forms as well. So get signed up to that one. Also wanted to do a quick refresher on how our races work. because I realised that there's a number of new people who come along to the rides or haven't been for a long time, and they're slightly different to how they would normally work in the Zwift event module. So across the four categories, A to D, obviously D-Cats being the slowest, they go first. So when the countdown hits 0, they will start the race. But if you're in category A to C, we have split starts. So C-Cats will go after a minute, B's will be after 2 minutes, and A's will be after 3 minutes. But what happens in the meetup module, if you don't start pedaling, the timer doesn't start counting. So what you need to do when the race starts for the D's, flip over to watch one of the D-Cat riders, because you'll be able to see their counter as they ride. And then as soon as your time starts, if it's after a minute, switch back to your rider and start riding. That's the only way you'll be able to see it. Unfortunately, it's just something we're stuck with in the event module. And the first time we did it, I didn't realise that was the case. So we had a lot of people wondering when to start and when not to start. So that is the best way to do it. So the slight difference to a normal Zwift event is normally, because you're held back, you can rev up or spin up your legs, I should say, on the trainer. And as soon as it hits 0, you've got that power to start. Unfortunately, the A's to C's can't really do that, because it'll mean that they actually start the race because you're not held back. So that's the one slight difference to a normal race. But aside from that, hopefully that's just helped any new people along. I should probably do a separate video and just sort of point people towards that video about it, shouldn't I? But I thought it'd be useful to mention again. It's Friday night. The Euro started tonight, so I am probably going to be watching the football tonight. I didn't sleep very well last night. I didn't go to bed till gone 1. Took ages to fall asleep, and then the little one woke us up really early this morning as well. So I'm feeling quite tired. There's a small chance, and it is quite small, that I will jump on the bike later on today, just depending on how much. I know what I'm like. I'll have my dinner and I'll sit on the sofa to watch a bit of the football, and I'll know at that point, if I start falling asleep, that I won't be doing any riding. But if I feel all right, I might get up and jump on. But either way, tomorrow is the group ride, so I will see you then. It's Saturday morning. Just to get myself some breakfast, get sorted to jump on the bike for the group ride. But obviously it's a big day today. England are playing Ukraine in the next round of the Euros, quarterfinals for a place in the semi-finals. Theoretically, that's an easier tie than the Germans, but this is England. I can see it going to penalties and and everything. We'll make hard work of this. So nothing is a given. We're looking forward to watching that tonight. And then today, I've got to spend the day after the ride getting the house tidy, because the inside of our house is an absolute dump. And obviously once the garden gets finished, hopefully next week, we'll be able to have some people over, but they need to come through the house. So I don't want it looking like this when they come over. So that is the plan for today. But I'm going to have my breakfast, get myself sorted, and jump on the bike. Group ride this morning done. Awesome ride around that new route. The long route, I think it's a countryside tour around Makuri, up to the tree. Actually went up twice because we finished the 60 minutes just about going up again. So got 2 climbs up that done. Brilliant chat on Discord. We talked about all sorts of stuff, politics, football. It was great. It didn't stop for the whole ride. 60 minutes flew by. I carried on for another half an hour, just up the distance a bit. I took advantage of the downhill, and then it's quite a bit downhill all the way back to the far end of the island. So I took advantage of that, got some extra kilometres in, so really happy there. But it's time for everyone's favourite part of the week, the garden update. Now, there isn't a lot visible that you'll be able to see this week that's changed from last week, because not a lot has really happened in terms of what was here before, if that makes sense. So let me turn it around. So obviously you can still see here we are struggling, the builder's struggling to get hold of any of the darker sort of grout to go between the tiles. Apparently there's a shortage of that across the country at the moment, so we'll make a call next week about whether we'll go with something different, something maybe slightly lighter. But it feels like it's making a compromise if we do that, but we'll wait, we'll see what happens. Most of the work this week has happened over here, and actually you can't really see, but from what we had before, a whole new layer of finer shingle has gone down over here.
which has been whacker plated down, and then another load brought in. So that took a couple of days, which must have been backbreaking work to level it all off and everything. And then this membrane, which is a weed membrane that's going down, and then this is the AstroTurf that's going into that section there, and that's about the only visible change that you can actually see. And then he spent a bit of the rest of the week just tidying up all the sort of the extras that we had out the front. So whilst you can't see a lot has changed, a lot has changed, and that is ready for the grass to be going in next week, and hopefully we can get the grout sorted for the front. We're actually having the gate around the side replaced, which I won't show you because that's where the dogs go and use the toilet and stuff around there, so it's not the nicest of areas even after you've cleaned it up. But yeah, that'll he's going to do the fence and stuff around there for us. So fingers crossed next week the grass will go in and we'll be so close to being able to use the garden. I'm really looking forward to it. I genuinely can't wait. It feels like it's gone on for a long time, but he's been unable to get any labour help, so he's done it all on his own, which is absolutely incredible. So yeah, fingers crossed it will be soon.
I'm trying to stay cool and calm, but 4-0. 4-0. To be fair to Ukraine, they looked absolutely dead on their feet by about half an hour in. I think the previous round had caught up with them a bit with the extra time that they went through and the injuries and stuff. But boy, did we capitalise this time. It makes a change for an England team to just essentially just put such a complete performance together and come out with such a convincing victory rather than stumbling through like we have done in the past. So yeah, I'm not going to say any more about it because there's a long way to go before we get anywhere further down, and I'm trying to just keep a sensible head on. So happy with that. Let's talk about this week's riding then. Only on the bike twice, although I'm kind of counting Sunday in this week, because if I take Sunday out, this is the mathematical head here, take Sunday out and add it to this week and run a Sunday to Saturday like I do these videos, it was 87 kilometres this week with the group ride from Sunday up the Alp. And then the other two rides that I've done this week are the race on Thursday night, which unfortunately I didn't finish. Zwift crashed, and the group ride today. So yeah, it's not the 100 kilometres that I was aiming for. I wanted to try and get the 100 kilometres without counting the Alp ride on Sunday, but I needed a rest. I did need a rest at the start of this week, so done that. Getting back on next week. I won't be riding tomorrow, and I'll be getting back on from Monday. Plan will be to have one or two earlier rides in the week. We'll probably jump on Tuesday night, Andy Creer's new ride. Notice about that is actually going to take place at 7:30 UK time in the evening rather than 6:30, to hopefully shift it back to include those people that struggle to make the 6:30 time. So hopefully I can jump on that one. Then we've got our race on Thursday night, and this week it will be the TT race. That'll be fun. And then our group ride on Saturday. So I'll think up some courses and I'll put them in Spond and on the Google form. So keep an eye out for those. If you've not been before, do come along. We're a very welcoming group. For a lot of the guys that we have in the group are quite new to Zwift. A few of them have stepped up already from the DCAT into the CCAT. But if you're a little bit nervous about it or whatever, I think we're probably the group for you. Come along. Come and enjoy it. We're a very friendly group, and the chats that we have on Discord and the challenging races that we have are great fun for everybody who's involved. So if you're feeling a bit nervous, trust me, come along and try it. Yeah, so all the details for that will be in below. You can sign up on Spond so you get instant notifications from me. One notice about Spond, actually, it's not linked to Zwift. So when you sign up on Spond, it basically tells me who has signed up, and then I go into Zwift and send the Zwift invite out. So it's not an immediate thing. And if you've ever accepted an invite on Spond and then can't make the ride, you don't need to reject the ride again in Spond, because once it's sent in Zwift, I can't retract the invite. So you don't need to go in there. It's extra admin that you don't necessarily have to do. We just use it to get an easy list of people who want to come. And also we've got the sign-ups on the Google form as well for those who aren't signed up to Spond, or there are some countries you can't use Spond. So yeah, I've said Spond a lot now, haven't I? Anyway, last update, nearly forgot, weight loss this week. I'm quite pleased with this. I've lost £1 this week, and the reason I'm pleased is because last week I was not good on in my food, not the week just gone, the week before. As you know, it's Father's Day. Had cakes and sweets and stuff. So I'm pleased to have got another further week into it and lost that and more. So happy with a £1 loss. So finishing this week on a good note, good number of kilometres, not quite where I wanted to be, and weight loss. So I can't be happier than that. Want to say a huge thank you to everybody's support on Buy Me a Coffee. Link is below if you want to use that. And thank you for watching this week. If you have enjoyed it, do press the like, subscribe, all of that stuff. It helps out, you know, hopefully getting the video in front of more eyes and we get more people in our group rides. But yeah, that's the end of this week, and I'll catch you next week.